Welcome to a new story made by Oracle One. The last broadcast. The hum of fluorescent lights buzzed softly above the dimly lit control room of WLRN Channel 9. Outside, the city had already begun to fold itself into a restless twilight, the kind that swallowed the sky in bruised purples and gooseflesh blues. But inside the studio, it was always night, a realm of flickering screens, tense operators, and the hushed murmurs of the unknown. Evelyn Pierce adjusted the microphone on her lapel, her fingers trembling for reasons she would not, explain. Tonight was unlike any other. The evening news was scheduled to run its usual 30-minute segment: local headlines, weather, a feature story about a community garden struggling to survive winter, and then the final segment, a taped interview she had prepared with a whistleblower from City Hall, promising revelations that would send tremors through the municipal government. Her colleagues moved around her like clockwork phantoms, part of the machinery, yet tonight, their movements seemed to slow, the air charged with an unspoken tension draped over the studio like smoke. 10 seconds to live, her producer whispered from the comms. Evelyn nodded, clearing her throat. She smiled too tightly, the practiced calm wrestling with a flicker of dread. The red, on-air, light blinked alive. "Good evening, I'm Evelyn Pierce, and welcome to Channel 9 News," she began, her voice steady but low. "Tonight, we reveal the truth behind the recent city council scandal that's been hiding in plain sight. But first, we have a special message from an anonymous source who claims to have irrefutable evidence of corruption within City Hall." She paused, glancing at the screen off camera, the static image of a USB drive, a visual aid prepared for the segment. Before she could continue, Evelyn pressed play on the small video player clipped to the desk in front of her. The tape sputtered, crackled. Then the screen flickered into life. A grainy figure appeared, face obscured by shadows, a man's voice, distorted but urgent. "They call it the Project Eclipse. What you see on the surface is a smokescreen for what really goes on. Hidden contracts, laundered money, even worse, disappearances." The voice dropped, a whisper full of menace. People who knew too much, people who vanished. The image shifted. Files, photos, numbers scrolled in erratic patterns. Evidence, or so the whistleblower claimed. And then, the name, Mayor Garrison, appeared, underlined in bright red. Evelyn swallowed hard. Suddenly, the tape ended. For a moment, the image froze, then cut to black abruptly. From the control room, signals flashed in confusion. Technical difficulties? Or something more sinister? But Evelyn was gone. 1 second she had been in her chair, lips still moving from the final lines of the tape. The next, she wasn't. The camera swung live to the empty desk, the microphones foam bobbing faintly in a sudden, unnatural breeze. "Evelyn? Evelyn? Where are you?" The producer's frantic voice crackled over the intercom. No response. Backstage, the staff raced to find her. The makeup chair was empty, the hallway deserted. No sign of forced exit, no struggle. Just silence, deep and suffocating. Police were called. Statements were taken. The station went into lockdown. Yet no trace of Evelyn Pierce could be found. Days later, the segment with the whistleblower's tape, saved on the station's server, was missing too. Deleted. WLRN Channel 9, once a beacon of reliability, became a ghostly place, haunted by the question: what had Evelyn uncovered that cost her everything? Chapter 1. The Disappearance. Detective Ryan Shaw sat in the dim light of his office, a strong coffee growing cold beside him. He read the transcript of Evelyn's final broadcast again and again, puzzling over the thin clues. The tape was supposed to reveal the secret behind Project Eclipse, but with the video gone and Evelyn vanished, the mystery deepened. He stared at the image caught on the surveillance footage. Evelyn walking calmly into the studio moments before air, her gaze firm, yet shadowed. Where had she gone? And who could have taken her? Ryan dialed his partner, Elise Morgan. "We're missing a journalist now," he said grimly. "And a city council is under fire. This is bigger than anyone thought." Chapter 2. The Whistleblower's Trail. Ryan and Elise returned to the studio the following day. Now cleared for police investigation. They combed through every inch of the building, talking to staff, technicians, security. But something gnawed at Ryan, a feeling of being watched, a silence too heavy for an empty newsroom. Then, in the archives room, Elise found a clue. A hidden folder encrypted on one of the backup servers, labeled only, "EP do not open." "What do you make of this?" Elise asked, passing Ryan a small memory stick she recovered from the system. Ryan's fingers shook as he inserted it into his laptop. Files, documents, images, all relating to City Hall, financial transactions, ghost contracts signed under false names, and a list of missing persons linked to whistleblowing activities. And then a video file titled, "The Truth, Project Eclipse." They hit play. The screen showed Evelyn, looking directly into the camera. Her makeup perfect, but eyes wild with desperation. "This is my last broadcast. If I'm not around tomorrow, then you know why. The corruption runs deep. They're watching." The video cut abruptly. Ryan leaned back, heart racing. "This isn't just news," Elise whispered. "This is a death threat." Chapter 3. Shadows over City Hall. The two detectives sought an audience with Mayor Richard Garrison's office. Publicly, the mayor denied involvement. But behind closed doors, Ryan saw a man unraveling. "We're just chasing shadows," Garrison spat. "Evelyn's gone rogue, chasing conspiracies. If she's missing, it's not because of us." Yet Ryan suspected the mayor was much more involved than he admitted. The detectives dug deeper into the mayor's connections, tracing shell companies, offshore accounts, and, chillingly, records of other missing persons who had opposed the administration. Each lead pointed to a central figure, Victor Carmichael, the mayor's chief of staff. Chapter 4. The Vanishing Point. At home, Ryan received a text from an unknown number. The message was a single line: "Cut the ties, or join her." The threat sent a cold wave over him. But it also pushed him further. He and Elise approached Carmichael's office under the cover of darkness, hoping to find evidence before he could hide it. Inside, the office was eerily silent. Files had been shredded, computers wiped. But as Elise searched beneath a false bottom of a drawer, she extracted a damaged hard drive. Back at the station, the drive's data recovered a chilling set of encrypted files documenting Project Eclipse, a planned development deal that would displace thousands of low-income residents, masked behind city funding cuts and fake community support. The kickbacks, the disappearances, all designed to silence whistleblowers like Evelyn. Chapter 5. A Voice from the Dark. Elise managed to decrypt a file marked date stamp, the night before Evelyn's disappearance. It contained audio, a conversation between two men. One voice, unmistakably Carmichael's, instructing, "Make sure she never airs that tape." Quietly or not. The other was ambiguous but agreed. Ryan and Elise realized Evelyn's disappearance was no accident. They issued an urgent press release to every local media outlet, revealing the chilling details they had uncovered. Chapter 6. The Countdown. Days stretched with tension. The city buzzed with rumors. Protests ignited outside City Hall, demanding Evelyn's safe return and an end to corruption. Then, in the dead of night, Ryan received another ransom-style message, a website address. It contained a live feed, Evelyn, bound but alive, eyes burning through the static. She whispered, "Keep fighting, uncover the truth, before it's too late." The video cut. Ryan vowed that he and Elise would find her. Chapter 7. Breaking the Chains. Using the clues from the encrypted files and locations mentioned in Evelyn's video, Ryan and Elise traced her to an abandoned industrial complex on the outskirts of the city. Storm clouds gathered as they approached, the shadows long and final. Inside, the cold drip of water echoed as they moved carefully through the labyrinth of hallways. A muffled cry echoed. In a darkened basement, they found Evelyn, bruised but resolute. "Why didn't you just run?" Ryan asked. "Because the truth, it needs to be heard." She swallowed back tears. "Project Eclipse will tear this city apart if we don't stop it." Chapter 8. The Last Tape. Back at Channel 9, Evelyn sat down with Ryan and Elise. Together, they rewrote the final broadcast, the story of corruption, power, and resilience. The station went live the next evening, the city watching intensely. Evelyn's voice was stronger, tempered by the fire of survival. She played the recovered tape, the hidden evidence, the recordings that exposed City Hall and its sinister puppet masters. As the broadcast closed, Evelyn looked straight into the camera. "This is not the end. It's just the beginning." The fallout was immediate. Investigations commenced, arrests were made. But beneath the surface, the shadows lurked, waiting. The story, like Evelyn, had survived the darkness. And the city would never look away again. Like and subscribe for more stories.